Pipe Network presents.
On this episode of Season 4, let's talk.
So, according to me, sneakerhead is someone who likes collecting sneakers, what he likes. So there is a misperception, I would say, in the sneaker culture that many people think that there should be the what do you say the sheep. So the Nike sneakers are going on trend. So yeah, we should buy that Nike sneaker itself. Only that color is on trend, so we should buy only that color.
Hey, folks, welcome back to the Rajiv Show. And this is going to be an interesting conversation. I'm going to have a conversation with one of my juniors in cathedrals in high school. So this is going to be more reminiscent than my standard conversations with my guests. And I want to introduce. Hopefully, I got it right. I got his name right. Chirag Gupta, pal. Hey, how are you doing, pal?
Hi, I'm good, and you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So, of course, could you give a little bit of background about yourself to my listeners, if you don't mind?
Okay. As you said, I'm Chirag. I'm a sneakerhead. So that's what we are going to be discussing today. Apart from that, I have my own business. It's a distribution business of FMCG. And yeah, that's it about me.
Wow, entrepreneurship. My youngsters are getting into the entrepreneurship. Oh, we're gonna have a blast. This is gonna be a thing. So, sneakers and entrepreneurship. But before we open those Pandora's box, let's talk about high school. Um,
Okay.
you know me in high school because I was famous for being Michael Jackson. Could you give a little bit of
Yeah.
um, background to who you were if you were classmates with our listeners? Who were you in high school, pal? Were you the silent type
So,
or the the
yeah,
talkative type? Yeah, who were you in high school?
I, I was I was a very silent kid. Like even now, I'm an introvert. So I don't mingle with people that easily. Yeah, in school also, I don't think many people will know me because I used to be in a corner, sitting in a corner, being myself, not interacting with much of the people. Yeah.
Interesting. You you've already went straight into the conversation about being introverted and stuff like that. That's very quick. Um, yeah, knowing Chirag, I know my batchmate was actually Chirag's sister. Am I right? She was my batchmate at some point, if I could
Yes,
recall.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and from where I remember, it was interesting actually. She disappeared and then she came back and then she became my junior for some reason. But yeah, life is never that perfect. But it was interesting. It was interesting
True.
knowing him. And folks, for those who are tuning in, by the way, did you know that leadership was also a part of my guests? As we conversated before, he mentioned that he became a prefect somewhere in the high school timeline. I'm sorry if I'm putting you on the spot, Chirag.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and we're gonna link that up to entrepreneurship later. But it's pretty interesting that you became a prefect. What was the feeling when you found out that you were selected as a prefect, pal?
To be honest, I was shocked actually. Then, yeah, I got to know that being a senior prefect is not about your marks. They even consider your discipline skills. Uh, as an student, I was a very average student. Like I was not a ranker or something.
Mm.
But then, yeah, when I became senior prefect, more than me, I think my classmates were shocked, and then they even went to vice principal for one small argument, telling that it might be some other Chirag, it might not be Chirag Gupta. So all such thing happened. But
Uh,
still, even the vice principal was like, I know what decisions have taken. I know which Chirag I've chosen. Yeah.
it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. To give context
Yeah, yeah.
to our listeners, prefects, by the way, are like more of guides to schools. Like,
Prefect,
yeah,
prefects, I can tell prefects are like, they are in charge of maintaining discipline
yeah,
in maybe the assembly or in the classroom. Like we were appointed junior classes, so we had to ensure that they are disciplined enough
yeah.
and they do their things good instead of creating a mess in the class or something.
It
And
took
that's
me
what
back.
our duty was. It's like yeah, yeah.
It took me back. It took me back. But you were saying.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, it's like a what do you say, a senior of a monitor, I would say,
Yeah.
because more than prefects, I think house captains and the school captain were given more respect more than prefects.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember now
So you can say, yeah,
coming to think of it, I remember it took me back junior. I think I was also selected as junior prefect. And then I remember I was
okay.
partnered up with a person who despised me the most, and it was it was kind of weird. It was a weird partnership, but we had no choice but to work things through. And I remember the kids when I used to discipline the kids. Oh man, the kids loved me so much that every time after the assembly, they give me a hug, and then it was odd for the other person because she was being left out,
No,
and uh,
you were the cool kid of the school, right? So yeah,
yeah, even being junior prefect made me too popular. It's like, man, I couldn't handle
yeah,
this kind of stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah, looking back, it was really amazing, amazing. Yeah. And yeah, now, well, let's talk about moving on to sneakers. Let's talk about entrepreneurship later on. But I'm curious,
Okay.
when you said you're a sneakerhead. What do you mean by
Yeah.
that? Like,
So, according to me, sneakerhead is someone who likes collecting sneakers, what he likes. So there is a misperception, I would say, in
hmm,
the sneaker culture,
yeah,
that many people think that there should be the what do you say, the sheep.
uh,
Okay, so the Nike sneakers are going on trend. So yeah,
yeah,
we should buy that Nike sneaker itself. Only that color is on trend, so we should buy only that color.
yeah,
So I don't think that is called a sneakerhead. That's being a sheep, that you're following others. What they like, you are making yourself like it. So
hmm,
for me, a sneakerhead is someone who is collecting what sneaker he loves, whether
hmm,
it could be Nike or Puma or Adidas or any brand.
hmm. Interesting. Interesting. I had a conversation with my mentor about collecting and sneakers. That's an interesting conversation. I'd hope sooner or later you'd have a conversation with us in the Saturday Talk series. That'll be live. I like to dig in deep
On
with that.
Instagram, right?
Yeah, that this one is on Facebook, basically Facebook, or I'm still thinking whether
Okay.
what platform to use this on, but it's gonna be interesting. But collecting, you mentioned collecting. That's interesting. For me, I don't relate much to it, but my mentor does because he collects majority of the stuff, like from coins to cups to even anything mundane like tissue paper
Okay.
of a hotel.
So
Yeah, because
so I thought I am the only weird one.
yeah, well,
No, actually, what apart from sneakers, I do collect few stuff, like, So I was thinking, I don't know what am I doing.
uh,
Then, like, I even like collecting, the old mobiles.
hmm,
So usually people, when they buy new phones, right,
yeah,
they will exchange or sell their old phones. But
yeah,
I won't do that. I would keep it. And
yeah,
same goes with some toys or Hot Wheels cars
yeah,
and keychains. the key rings, if you have
Yeah.
seen, for
Keychains. Yeah.
keys we use, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I even collect that. So I have so many things which I collect. So sometimes even I think, I don't have any particular thing in my mind that I should collect only this. So I'm a weird person. So today when you told about your mentor, then yeah, I have to meet him.
Yeah, that conversation would be interesting. And I wanted to ask, since you mentioned sneakers, what was the
Yeah.
story there? What was the pivoting moment where you said, "Hey, I like this, and I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pursue this as a form of passion, or for me, like just for me to be happy." What was the story there when you started collecting your first sneaker or your first collection ever?
So first collection, I would say, I started collecting from when I started earning, but
Hmm.
the interest came up from the school times.
Hmm.
So like our seniors, as you know that when we are in 10th standard, we have all the rights to wear whatever sneaker we want.
Yeah.
There was no restriction that we had to wear white or black shoe only.
Yeah.
So that's when I used to see seniors. I used to see all the amazing sneakers which they used to wear,
Hmm.
and that's how it came in my mind that even I should have something good. And if you remember those days, Puma, Ferrari, Puma, BMW were the one sneakers
Yeah.
which used to go on trend. Like people used to purchase it,
Yeah.
and yeah, that made me interested. And after that, when I went to my 11th 12th standard, my degree, I
Hmm.
used to buy sneakers. But yeah, it was, as you know, when parents give us money, we will have restrictions about it.
Yeah. True.
So yeah, so the highest sneaker which I had when I was in degree was 7 pace.
Yeah.
So after I finished my degree, I started collecting more. So today, if I'm not wrong, I'll have around 25 pace.
Wow. 25. That means on retail sale, if you were to sell that off, that would be double its value. If in case you were to open a
Uh,
store or
yeah,
something.
no, but see, for resale market is only for Nike sneakers, and in
Ah,
even Nike, they are only for Jordans and Nike Dunks. So
interesting.
other sneakers, yeah, you can't expect money from them. But yeah,
Yeah.
sneakers like Jordans, Dunks, in that also there are particular sneakers which can get huge amount, and there are few sneakers which can get less amount. So it goes like that. It's
Interesting.
you have to totally dive into it to understand total concept of this reselling market. It's a total different topic, I would say.
Interesting. Interesting. And since we are in the topic of shoes and collecting and stuff like that, and earlier on we were
Hmm.
collecting memories of our the childhood and high school and all that stuff. I gotta ask you though, simple question. It's a philosophical question. Is that what are your thoughts regarding uh, collecting? What is your philosophy when it comes to collecting? Do you have a certain quotation when it comes to collecting stuff that you mentioned? You collect old phone cases,
Yes.
shoes, and all these other stuff. Like, what is your main Chirag Gupta philosophy that you can share with us, like a self improvement philosophy about collecting that you could share with us?
Okay. So for me, collecting is, collecting, for me, the meaning of collecting is, you can say, collecting what you like. I would say that's it. Collect what you like. Because, as I told you in the starting of the conversation, I have seen people. So the sneakers which they don't like, they would say, it's a brick or it's a dumb sneaker, it's a dumb investment. So
Yeah,
I would always, if anyone who is getting into collecting anything, I would only tell him the first point is, don't be a sheep, collect what you love. That's it.
interesting, interesting. That's really
Yeah.
powerful, and that's going to be your quotation, by the way.
Yeah.
Really powerful, powerful drive there. And then,
Hmm.
uh, what is the most? I gotta ask though. out of all the investments that you've had in now that we are all getting older, what is the most expensive investment that you still have with you, or the most oldest yet rarest collection that you've ever had?
Okay. If you're asking in total, so means if you're asking apart from sneakers, the investment, if I would say, as I told, apart from sneakers, I even like mobiles.
Yeah.
So yeah, uh, uh, purchasing a expensive phone for my money. See, our parents have purchased for us phones, but
Mm,
for me, buying for Indian rupees 50,000 rupees a mobile and a 30,000 rupees camera
mm,
for my YouTube videos was a big thing for me. Because yeah, honestly, about mobiles, yeah, when we were in degree, our parents have purchased for us a good phone or the latest phone which was in the market.
mm.
But when you purchase from your side, that is totally different. So yeah, be a mobile and camera are my two expensive investments. And in terms of sneaker, I have a sneaker which is worth of 16,000. uh, if I tell this to a sneakerhead, you would say that's not that expensive. You get more expensive sneaker than that. But yeah, this is the starting of my journey. So yeah, this is the most expensive sneaker I have as of now.
Interesting. Interesting. Very, very powerful. I mean, you've come a long way from being introverted and having the guts to actually reach out to me and let's having a conversation over on a podcast. It's really
Yeah.
is really changed the tone up a bit. And this has been an interesting conversation. I love it. I love it. Pal, but before we get into entrepreneurship, I want to talk about entrepreneurship, pal. I hope you don't mind. Before we get into that,
Yeah.
we'll just have a short break, and folks, we'll be right back after these few short messages. Do you want to get great deals? Go to Pipe Marketplace. Visit pipenetwork.co/marketplace and use the promo code TRS to get exclusive discounts. Chat with them now. Basta Podcast, Pipe Yan.
Dear listener, have you ever had a complicated situation with someone you love? I'm not a relationship expert, but I sure have gone through a handful of ups and downs with my own relationships. So I invite you to join in the conversation in my podcast, Sincerely Yours, where we'll talk about the discreet things we do in relationships that harm us. Some may be hard to admit to ourselves, but that's the road to building healthy relationships. I hope to see you there. Sincerely yours, Maria.
Hey, folks, welcome back to the another episode of the Rajiv Show. And my guest, of course, Chirag Gupta. We were talking about collecting. We were talking about collecting memories, and now we were talking about expensive stuff and investments and stuff like that. Collect what you love. That is the quotation of the day, of the week, or the day of this release. So, entrepreneurship. Well, what inspired you to get into entrepreneurship? I gotta ask.
See, um, I would say, I'm not that perfect now to tell the meaning of entrepreneurship. But for me, starting my own business was like a dream since my childhood.
Hmm.
That I should be working in my own company or something, because since I come from a background where our entire family, they have their own business. So
Hmm.
yeah, even that made me inspired, maybe since my childhood. So
Hmm.
I even my tracks were clear, that I have to take commerce, and then yeah, I have to study related to the business. Uh, yeah, that's it.
Interesting, interesting. I didn't know that that part of the narrative was that it was already molded in you in the beginning. I'm really impressed by the
Yeah.
fact that thing. And so far, you mentioned that you don't have much experience in the bag to state that the state about to state anything about entrepreneurship. What were your
Yeah.
of course when starting a business, of course, what were those hardest lessons you would say that taught you, okay, I should have done this better, I should have done that better, and what was that moment where did you have those failure moments, of course, when you started out?
Correct. So yeah, I am in the beginning stage itself. So I completed my degree 2 years back.
Yeah.
That is 2019,
Yeah.
and then so the 2 years gap, I worked for two different companies. One was a startup, and second was a education field e-learning platform.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I got a little experience. Where I was little confident that yeah, I can step into starting my own business.
Yeah.
And um, you can say in the month of June, July, I started with my this distribution business.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm still in that learning process. I'm making mistakes, I'm learning out of it.
Mm.
And then yeah, so for me, I would say, like even if I tell about entrepreneurship, basically you should know every single work about your business.
Yeah.
So it's not, so I would say, like many people, they are there, they'll be like, okay, my parents are putting money on it, so yeah, we'll keep 2 3 workers in the starting, they will
Mm.
do the work, I'll sit in a cash counter. And yeah, like a typical business style.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, in the starting, you should be the one who is able to do all the work.
Yeah.
I would say that
Int-
unless you don't know how to do all the different types of work in your office, you are not ready to do the business. You're just wasting the money which is invested.
Interesting. Speaking of money, you also mentioned in the first half, I remember you said that when parents used to give you guys cash, you guys used to spend it. So, I think you said you used to spend it wisely when you purchased your first investment, your first shoe. I think 11, 12. You mentioned that you invested on your first shoe. What are your thoughts on financing? How is your mindset when it comes to financing now that you're in the starting stage?
I believe a person should, have that saving money mindset. To be honest, when I was in my school days or college days,
Mm.
whatever pocket money I used to get, out of which I used to give some amount of money as an, savings. Like, if tomorrow if I need a huge amount or something, I can use that amount.
Mm.
But when I started earning, I think I lost my track. And then whatever salary I used to get, I used to spend it on sneakers. Maybe because it was like I was getting more excited about purchasing more sneakers. So
Yeah.
I lost that saving habit.
Yeah.
But then when I now when I started with my own business,
Mm.
um, I have to control myself, because if I keep on spending on like stuff which is luxury,
Yeah.
then definitely I would not succeed in future.
Yeah.
So I have to keep in mind, that's what I've prepared now, and that's how I'm maintaining now, and controlling myself to being in limit, or enjoying out of profits. If I'm earning profits, then yeah, I can think about what I can do with it.
Yeah. That's good. At least money management, because I can relate there as well. For me, having an emergency fund is really the thing now, especially now that although yeah, having that savings is a necessity, putting that savings into something that is worth an investment is somewhat a challenge to certain people nowadays because everybody falls into scams. I'm sure you agree with me. My guest agrees with
True,
me
true.
that people can easily con you out of simple necessity just because get rich quick kind of scams and all that stuff that has been
uh,
going on in the internet.
yeah, true.
So being wise with
So
money is interesting, and coming from you, it's actually a good advice that the youth are coming together and sharing that financial is more important than anything else in life, I guess. Because without any
Yeah, yeah.
dosh in the pocket, then you'll be walking with an empty pocket.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but when you mention about scams, I totally agree to your point. But I feel a person should have self control and have patience,
Mm.
because I think even in school days this was running around. So in India there was a company called eBiz. They were like totally different into network marketing.
Yeah.
So I'm not telling network marketing is bad, but
Mm.
then the way that company was using network marketing was in a bad way.
Mm.
They were That's what they were showing them to be, you can become rich fast and all.
Yeah, get rich
And
quick.
yeah, yeah. So the guy, like, what I used to do is in my school days, and not only on school days, no, even now. So if I want to take any decision, I would go to my dad and talk to him first. I'll be like, Papa, this is the thing which came across, so what do you think about it?
Yeah.
So even my dad will think, and if possible we would talk with the concerned person. So yeah, similar thing happened when I was in degree.
Yeah.
So what I did is I set a meeting with my dad. So
Yeah.
that guy was trying to convince my dad there, but then yeah, my dad didn't get convinced, and I'm happy for it. He didn't got convinced. And those days I had a Samsung Galaxy S7, so that was a flagship phone back then,
Yeah.
when I was in college. So he was like, bro, this is the time, you should think out of the box, sell your phone. If I were you, I would sell my phone and collect money and invest on this network marketing thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I didn't fall into his trap, and just did that without
Yeah.
telling my parents.
Yeah.
So yeah, so people have to be very careful in terms of the internet scams which are going on.
Yeah. Because yeah, entrepreneurship requires a different kind of person. I think it requires a different kind of beast. I had a conversation with a young
Correct.
kid also, uh, and in his heart, he leadership, everything. He's got the leadership, he's got the young blood and everything, and uh, and I hope that is gonna go places, which I do believe he is going places already. And for you, I'm also proud of the fact that you've been going places already, and your self awareness is is at its maximum peak, which is actually good. And learning your finances, yeah, that's a tricky part. That's a tricky ball to play. For me personally, as an
Yeah.
artist, that is where I'm so weak at. But I still have a good savings. I mean, my emergency fund is thick as a brick. So yeah, you need to have good savings. As it has
Yeah,
to.
you need to have emergency funds, so it will help you any day.
Yeah. And investment. I mean, I when it comes to investment, that's where the big money is. But yeah, just hope that looking for investing the perfect place to invest. I'm not a business guy, but you need to find and do due diligence with what you're investing into, because anything can be anything. Even collecting nowadays has become a business, which is one which is my
Yeah,
mentor's favorite thing, is that he collects coins and money, old money, and then he sells them for a certain price. And his philosophy is actually the same: collect what you love. And although, yeah, we'll see if we can find a quotation that you said here that would have been more, that will be more interesting. Then of course we're gonna add that into the
yeah,
quotation on a Thursday post. So yeah, it's been
true.
interesting. I mean, it's been interesting talking about collecting, investing. I gotta ask though, what are your thoughts for the future? I mean, for the future, your business, future, your plans. Ho- Um, how big and how grand is, like? What are your thoughts? Are you excited? Are you scared? What are your thoughts for the future? By the way.
For the future, I would say I don't know about it because I'm excited as well as scared. Both I am actually, but seeing what I'm doing today, actually, I wanted to do something out of the box. See, starting a distribution business, I think many people can do it, but then I didn't choose to do in the city which I am in. So currently, I live in Bangalore. My parents stay here, and I stay with them. So I thought of doing in Tumkur. So Tumkur is basically around 80 kilometers away from Bangalore,
Yeah.
and it's a developing city, so it's growing slowly.
Yeah.
So I thought instead of Bangalore, I could start there and get those brands which are not available at Tumkur.
Yeah.
So that is my USP, you would say, unique selling point, that bringing such brands which are not available in Tumkur and being the only distributor. So currently, I have around 4 to 5 brands with me,
Wow.
for which I am the one who is a super stockist or the main distributor, where even a wholesaler has to contact me if he wants the particular brand product.
Interesting. Wow. Future seems bright from your end, pal. Wow. It's so
Yeah.
bright. I'm already blinded by it. It's really damn good. Um, Interesting, interesting. And I gotta ask though, also the last questions that I usually have now. I remember my old format. I gotta ask, what inspires you to get up every morning? That what inspires you to get up every morning to do your stuff, do your
Uh, I,
business, and thing, like what brings you that certain quote or that philosophy that you have, that static philosophy or dynamic philosophy that you have, that makes your life more, okay, every time I wake up, okay, Chirag, this is my conversation with you, Chirag, and we are gonna go out and we're gonna kill it today. What is that thing, inspirational or motivational quotation or anything that you live by every day when you work?
I, So yeah, as you know, I love collecting sneakers, and apart from collecting sneakers, I also do like traveling. So that motivates me, to wake up every morning. That uh, I should be able to fulfill my dreams, what I am having now. I should be able to travel places which I want to visit, and also collect the expensive sneakers as well, which have a lot of hype, or which I like the most. It could be anything.
Hmm.
And yeah, and speaking of investment, so you were telling about investment in between. I forgot to mention one point here.
Yeah.
I've also earned money out of buying some particular sneakers and reselling it when it was had a good demand in the
Mm.
market. So I think around 4 to 5 to 6 sneakers I've sold it, for much more price than what I've purchased it.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
So have you ever also often, now since you opened the investing conversation, let's put the
Yeah.
inspirational conversation later. Since you opened the
Okay.
conversation into investing, um,
Yeah.
did you ever think of getting into the shoe business also at a certain point, like in that retail thing, or it was just experimental at that time when you mentioned investing?
No, it was not. Investing, see, sneaker, when I started collecting, I got to know there are few people in the there are few people who they would pay more than the retail price if they like a particular sneaker. And that's when I took that advantage and sold few sneakers. And
Yeah.
speaking of a sneaker business, yeah, definitely I thought about it. But then before starting this business, fast moving consumer goods business,
Yeah.
I had plans for the sneaker thing, but then I think I was not that
Confident or
knowledgeable to, knowledgeable to start that business, as well as I think for starting a sneaker business is way more investment than what you need for different business. Like currently, which I'm in started with.
Uh, so basically, uh, when but you know the market, you know the market of the retail business, regardless, even if you're not in the
Yeah.
market.
So yeah, I am day by day. Like even now, even though I've started with the distribution business, I am gaining knowledge about the sneaker related market or the retail market, because yeah, someday I might start with sneaker retail or resale business,
Yeah,
because that's like a dream for me, because I've whichever sneaker store which I see in India, which are quite famous,
yeah,
I see them, I get inspired by them, and I see the collections what they're having. So even that sometimes pokes me, that even I should start this, or
yeah.
I should think about it or something like that. So yeah, definitely in the future someday I might start with a sneaker thing as well.
Claim it, brother. Claim it. You have the right to claim it. Eventually, you'll get there. You're gonna claim it, yeah,
True, true.
eventually. Yeah. I did not know
Yeah.
that it takes a lot to create a business out of reselling sneakers, which I'm not particularly good at that. In my regard, my business is more on the artistic side, so I play a different ball
True.
game and thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's bring back the conversation about inspiration. Just to wrap up this entire conversation, is that
Okay.
what is that quote that wakes you up every day? When you're waking up,
Uh,
you have to remind yourself, pal, you're not gonna get lazy today or something like that. Do you have like a particular quote that you live by, like a motto, philosophy by a famous philosopher, or your philosophy that you have with you that reminds you, okay, I'm gonna go to work now. I'm gonna go into work mode, and we're gonna go and we're gonna tackle the world today. So do you have those kind of quotation when you wake up? And who are your inspirations, if ever?
okay. So when you told about this, I don't think I have any, like a quote or something. But yeah, I think when sometimes there is a music in Hindi. So you know, it says दुनिया में रहना है तो काम के और प्यारे. So that it means if you want to survive in this world, you have to work.
Hmm.
So maybe sometimes I listen to such songs. It's a old Hindi song, so I listen to such songs. That maybe boosts me, like gives me a motivation that yeah, I should focus on my things and stuff.
Yeah. And any inspiration aside from music, family, friends, anything else?
To be honest, I don't believe taking motivation from like others in terms of all this one on one.
Yeah.
I do watch videos and stuff, but in terms of friends and all, I do feel that they are just telling us in the sake of we don't go down. So I would suggest any day to anyone that if you think you want to do such thing, have your self control, have your mind prepared. If you want others your mind to be prepared, it's when you're not interested to do that work. You don't have that passion to do. If you have that passion, you have to do it by your own. You have to build up by your own. That's what I
Powerful.
feel.
That was
Yeah.
powerful, pal. Like I said, huge amount
Yeah.
of proudness coming from a senior to a junior. It feels good to have this conversation. It's really refreshing to hear your voice and to because back then we never really spoke to each other in high school, if I could
Yeah, yeah.
recall, and we never
True,
even
true.
crossed paths before. But now we've
Yeah.
gone from we've crossed paths, and now we've shared information that is beyond. I mean, we've traveled beyond high school, and it shows that there's a lot of life after school, and there's a lot. If you have a dream, you have a vision, you have to have a laser focused mindset, mentality, and you know, eventually get there wherever you are going. And I gotta say, pal, thank you for saying yes to the conversation, to the collaboration. I want to say thank you, and raise a glass of beer if ever, with you, because I'm proud of you. I'm
Yeah,
proud of where you've taken your life, and at least you're there, out there in the, even in a pandemic, you're out there fighting your own wars, and taking your wars to the next level, and you know conquering Tomcore. I do believe that Tomcore will be your city by the end of the year or something like that. I'm sure. In terms of the distribution market, and I believe in you. I mean, I believe in your future, and that's a thing. I really want to say thank you for dropping by and sharing a conversation with me.
actually, I think not only me, all your guests should thank you, because you're creating an opportunity for people like us, that to explore ourselves. When you uh, tell your story to people, it might help someone or another. It might help at
Yeah,
least one person who is listening to the
yeah,
conversation. Let it be a one viewer, but
yeah,
it somehow helped them in some way. So, and you are the one who is getting, that you're filling that gap between that person and the speaker here.
yeah.
So, you should be thanked.
Thank you. Then thank you also in return. So, of course, my listeners would love to connect with you via social media. How would they find you on social media, pal?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. That is CHIRAG underscore KG. And or yeah, even in Facebook, I'm there, Chirag K Gupta, and on LinkedIn, I'm there. I don't know if people use LinkedIn that often, but yeah, I'm also there on LinkedIn as Chirag K Gupta. And yeah, I also have my YouTube channel. Can I tell about my YouTube channel?
Sure, sure, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I also have my YouTube channel, so I talk about all the sneaker related stuff. Usually it's all about sneaker unboxing,
Yeah,
and also I talk about the sneakers, like basic ways to maintain your sneakers or to clean, or what accessories you can purchase for a sneaker and stuff.
awesome, awesome. And what's the name of the channel,
Yeah,
pal?
the channel as of now I've kept my name itself, Chirag K Gupta. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, proud senior, celebrating your moment here in the Rajiv show. Much respect. I'm raising a glass to you, pal. Major salutes and respect to you, pal. Because yeah, you've done the impossible, and still you're still doing the impossible, and I'm proud of you. And it's a good life, I guess. I want to add some more kindness, but yeah, the best of my own kindness is also losing out. But yeah, my intention is for the good. So yeah. um
True, true.
and again, thank you so much for dropping by. Hopefully you will drop by the live streams, or perhaps on the Friday on IG, or any of those postings. I mean, to just chat and chill now that you're officially a legend in my books. You're an official legend in my
Thank
books,
you.
young legend. So
No,
yeah, I hope.
definitely. Yeah, I see your Instagram, notification, when you start with your live conversation, but then I'll be busy sometimes in the office doing some work,
Yeah,
that, I'll be like, okay, I have to see. And I also remember once you invited me to, chat along,
yeah,
but then But then then I see that notification after half an hour, and then I like, oh, the conversation is over now.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
So yeah,
We'll have we'll always
yeah,
make time. We'll figure out a time for Saturday live because your niche, your topic about collecting is gonna interest my mentor. And I do believe that my mentor would love to have a conversation with you regardless. And yeah,
yeah,
uh
yeah, definitely.
gonna
Even
be
I
an
would love to.
yeah. So, folks, for those in mind, I hope, for those who are listening, I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I hope you learned a lot in this conversation. It's been an interesting conversation. Take this home, bite sizes, and do whatever you want, guys. This is some amazing content right here. No matter who you are, young or old, you're still learning, and that's life. And life is progressing every day. So even when you think you are fully learned, you haven't learned anything yet. That is my message for the youngsters out there. Just keep doing what you do, and just be humble enough to know that, once you learn something, move on to the next, move on to the next. So yeah, I want to thank you, Chirag, for showing up, and hopefully I'll see you soon on the Rajiv show. And folks, for those who are
Yeah.
listening, cheers, folks, and I will see you in the next. Oh, I forgot my ending line. I will see you in the next episode.